to today's episode of Spice and Nice.
I am in the spice.
And I am Denise and Nice. We are doing it a little bit earlier because we feel like it. We have something else to do later on.
Yeah.
Okay, today we're going to talk about one of the things that I always struggle with. Individualism and family expectations. We can add in society expectations also. For those of you who needs a little bit of context about what I consider as individualism, it means your own individual thought, your own passions versus responsibility towards your family versus society expectations, things like that. Is it making sense?
Yeah.
I actually asked ChatGPT not about this topic, but how ChatGPT divides it is very interesting. They say they call the individualism or passion, self-passion, the more Western culture, Western values, whereas family expectations, society expectations, acting as a whole in terms of society is more Eastern culture, Eastern values.
Which is true, which is correct, right?
Yeah.
I found the same.
Yes.
I said like we are have that because of the upbringing we have and the culture around us. Like when I was a kid, I did not realize how important was that. Because when you're young, you will try to break through from your family, right? But then when you hit certain age, somehow you go back to your root again.
Yes.
Right? You kind of want to find meaning in the relationship around you that you have. And I find that's also a cause of a lot of problem now when people say they had depression or they're not happy with their life. I think this is what missing that they have. They want meaningful relationship, or when they grow old, they want to grow old with people around them. Rather it's friend or work environment or the society. I think they looking for this bond.
I agree. And I think okay, this is for me growing up because I grew up in Singapore. Singapore is a very, I think it's the perfect place to talk about this because Singapore is, at our roots, we are Eastern values, right? Because we are all Southeast Asians.
That's
but because we are such an open country and we are very small, so we are like kind of like trade center for a lot of places, right? So we actually have a lot of influence from Western culture, especially with YouTube, with Netflix specifically. I see a lot of the youngsters now, they start to move more towards that. And there's no good, I'm not saying there's good or bad within these two values or culture systems. I think it's just which one is more suitable for your character, and you have to decide what is the balance on your side.
Yeah.
So the younger generation now, they're very they are much more westernized in the sense that they are very vocal. And recently the younger, okay, last time, we used to say the parents, we have to be filial towards them, means we have to be responsible towards them. Chinese we call 孝顺, so it's kind of like you have to be there for their birthdays, have like weekly dinners or whatever. That's kind of family values, right? And then the parents will be say things like, I give birth to you, so poor thing, I so tough life, I feed you, I blah 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 blah, all that. And then what happens is that now the younger generation, because of the Western influence, they will say things like, I did not ask to be given birth.
Yeah.
You chose to give birth to me. And therefore it is your responsibility to take care of me.
Yeah.
So, but it's a shock to the Eastern parents, right? It's a shock for, so it is a shock for the Eastern parents. How do you have that issue actually? Because I know your family situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do I have issue that if one day my daughter say that to me?
No lah, I don't think so. I don't think you are.
I think she may dare to say that sentence to me.
Yeah,
I think she may.
She may.
Yeah.
She loves to push her boundaries.
Yes.
She's like a forefront of boundary pusher. She's a boundary pusher.
Well, I think I have zero expectation from my family other than neglect, right? So I have different experience with I'm a different group of Asian kid, whereas the parent was maybe they regret because they married too early, or
Maybe.
maybe they don't find, like, nobody teach them how to marry and then, deal with kid and all that. So I don't blame my parent anymore, because it's, again, like, when you go back to the root of the problem, you realize that, like I tell you, my dad, the my grandparent passed away in the war, right? So
Oh.
it's very hard to blame him, that you can't tell, like, oh, you are not a good man because nobody teach you to be a good man, and your job need to learn to be a good man, not something like that, right? If you come out from a war, and you're a 5 years old kid and come out from the
He
war,
has
and
no
your
role
parent.
model.
Exactly. So that's why I have more empathy toward him, so I don't blame him. At the same time, my mother's side is the same, right? Like, all is in army, and so it's very hard when this generation is just a kid that get out from, basically, the
Mm.
parent fight,
Mm.
so the kid can live in a life,
Mm.
so then they have children,
Mm.
so little to none, no, like, they have zero knowledge to
Mm.
groom me. So about the family expectation, I almost have
Do you have any?
none, right? Or it's more like social pressure. Every kid have to learn the same, copy paste, you have to good the same.
Mm.
But talk about individual, I still never book myself above anybody. I
Mm.
don't know why. From young, my my theory in life is, you're not that special or important.
Mm.
You're just a part of a whole system that have to run, and I just find myself that I'm contribute to the society on my way, and that's it, right? I don't book myself above a lot of people, and I don't think anyone should. But of course, still individual choice. But do I have my own unique contribution? Yes, but I'm not uniqueness. So I still don't get it when people say you are unique, right? The older am I realize that when you say that to the kid, you may make them become lazy,
Yes.
right? So if you tell them that you actually still have more, and nothing wrong right here, because I think in Asian mindset, that's what we sometimes we say, and with Westerner they would think like, oh, you say that, then the kid no confident. So I'm still very much balanced between
Mm.
teach my daughter to be confident, but also at the same time
You're not that special.
I book her to the place for her to know that don't trust when people straight away coming and sweet talk to you. You know
Mm.
what I mean? It may not be the truth, right?
Mm.
Because it's not everybody will tell you the truth, that what you good and what you need to take
Yes.
feedback on,
Yes.
which is that's is a hard lesson. And most people don't have feedback in life. You rarely can walk out there and somebody sincerely give you feedback. Rarely,
Mm.
right? So get back to the individual. I have now in this stage of my life, what did I balance the most? It still come back to boundary, yes, individual, that I don't disturb anybody, but also do I also make very clear boundary that do not cross the step to here. This is where my boundary is. At the same time, family is important for me, right? I every day important here is not I'm force my child to be something, but important for me myself as a mother. Every day, how do I live my life? Because
Mm.
my daughter going to see it every single
Mm.
day.
That's true.
So I think that is what important for me. The value of who am I as a person, that not even show for me, because you see, the kid will grow up in the house and one day they know everything about you, because they are the only person that know everything about you,
Mm.
because they live with you every day.
24/7.
24/7. They see you in sleep. They see you when you wake up in the morning, when you dress at home, when you eat food, when you're tired, when you're sick. That's the true weakness of who are you as a person,
Mm.
right? And yeah, so the expectation from family for me is more to myself,
Mm.
not
Not
to
from
other.
outside.
Yeah, not to other.
Society expectations do you have? I think
I
especially for
don't have,
Vietnam.
yeah. I'm actually zero expectation from society to me. From day one when I do YouTube, I already don't have expectation that, oh, people will say thanks for everything I do. You see, that's why when people say thanks to me in YouTube, or even when meet me in the person, I still receive it, but I never do this because of all of that.
Mm.
I do it because I know I have to do it, because that's something calling me, and up to now I'm still enjoying very much of doing what I'm doing. This is purely my pleasure to, and at the same time my passion. I love give knowledge to people. I find it's fulfill my soul to do
Mm.
it.
Mm.
So it's and I think if you go to YouTube or even any platform, and you want to go online because you're looking for all these people liking you or whatsoever, right? I think it's very hard for you to success on this.
It's not sustainable, I would say.
Yeah, people can feel your passion though. People
Mm.
really can. Like, I like the watching like nerd stuff. I like to watch science and when when you're watching all these people who do science, or they share about science behind it, or they show you research paper. For example, right now I'm reading about why woman bone will be weaker than men after 28 years old, and all that side, all the nerd stuff.
We don't grow newborn anymore.
Yeah, I know, right? So it like, and you can see the passion in all these people. They talk about bone like
It's their baby.
like
I understand it. I get what you mean. They talk about it. You see the light in their eyes, right?
exactly.
And it's
Oh,
bone. It's just bone.
exactly. Or some guy talk about nerve system, like why it important for you. Some guy talk about muscle.
Or metabolism rate.
Exactly. And then
Or
you're like,
insulin.
oh my god, how can you be so that like you so nerd, but I love it so much. Like the way they share, you already can tell this guy every day. This is the thing he do.
Yeah, and every the 9 to 5, 12 hours a day, he's just
This
looking at.
is what he doing. He read at people church every day.
Uh,
He do this sign paper every day
uh-huh.
because he really want to understand how to
Deep.
live longer as muscle mass and whatsoever. Anyway, I go back to, yeah, you cannot do all this online thing with just thinking that you want to have time to everybody.
Or attention.
Yeah,
It's not sustainable.
yeah.
Or rather, you must. There is always an exchange of value, right?
Mm,
So I give something of value. That's why I get the attention. Or
mm,
rather, so what are you giving in terms of value?
yeah.
And I I think you're right. You're in a very different class. I belong to the more standard family where I have loving standard Singaporean family where I have
Which is
loving
that's good.
parents.
So you have
I mean,
more family
yes,
bond.
yes, family bond, but also with that bond comes family expectations. So we have a viewer right now, selfish to choose my happiness over their expectations. I resonate with that because it took me a very long time also. Because sometimes when I do things for myself instead of for my family or for my parents, I feel like I'm being a selfish daughter.
Mm,
Like I chase my dream, I do stuff that doesn't pay money. It makes life can be a lot easier for them if I do the normal office job,
mm,
right? They get allowance, a certain amount of allowance from me. It's not a lot, but it makes life more comfortable. So when I first started, this was also difficult for me because it is it is a it is a balance and it's a decision. It's a tough decision, but it's a decision that I have to make. And I am thankful that I grew up in Singapore where I have both Eastern and Western values that I
mm.
can kind of merge together, so I
Yeah.
can see both sides. I I give myself a timeline actually. Like if I leave and I don't, because I'm not young,
Mm,
right? So my parents are also not young, obviously.
yeah.
I think my dad is 60 already.
Mm.
60? 1960 is what? 60 is it?
Oh, your dad around my dad.
Yeah, 1960. My mom is born 1960. My dad is
Why
58.
your dad have you very
1958.
early?
My mom, yeah, because that generation all have very early mom,
Yeah.
right?
Because if your
Considered
dad
late.
around my dad ages, my dad married very late. My dad
Yeah,
is like
consider
50.
for their generation very late. But
Yeah.
for now, it's the standard age now. So my mom is 1960. My dad is 1958. So they're both quite old already. And with age it comes the lower energy
Mm,
uh, that you can exchange for money, right? So they are close to retirement already. And when I started this, I had to really ask myself like, is it okay? And I actually had a chat with my of course my husband one, and then my sister the second one. Because when we okay, this very I don't know whether you know about this lah, but when I've okay, so Wen Kai started the entrepreneurship first. He
Mm.
came out and he stopped being an employee. He started first, and then we had a discussion, and I said it's fine. You know, it's better to start now than to
Mm.
start later.
Mm.
You start later, you will never start because once you have kids, all that you will never start.
Yeah.
Okay, and then after that, my sister went into financial services. So
Mm.
that is also she left employment also,
Mm.
and then we had a chat, and I say it's okay. I will stay in employment. So then at least we have one stable source of income. Then now my sister is doing better. She's her finance more stable. That's why after that I came out and I said, okay, it's now my turn to do something. And I think that as part of a family, if to do something to pursue your own happiness, it is always better to do earlier, and it's always good to give yourself a certain timeline.
Mm.
3 years. What kind of results you hope to achieve in 3 years? If you don't get there, what are you going to do after that?
Yeah.
Right? If you have given yourself 3 years and 3 years later, maybe you not succeed to the level you want, but you see progress. And you know that if you continue another 3 years, you will see more progress. Then
Mm.
you can continue at that road. Otherwise, you may need to change, right? Because sometimes they talk about perseverance or that, but we also talk about this in another episode where you have to know when to say stop or to give up or to change a new method, whatever
Yeah.
that is, right? So you need to you this is how I dealt with it. And I thought about it to myself for the guilt part, because there's always guilt. I'm 40 already this year. The guilt part. December I'm 40. Okay. For the
Still young.
I don't feel old actually, I really don't feel old. But then so what happened was that for my parents, I told myself this: if I step out now and I do something, it is a bit more dangerous, but it is for a better future a few years down the road.
Mm.
Because if I were to wait another 5, 10 years, they will come to the age where they will have a lot of bills,
Yeah.
and then I cannot do that anymore already. I
Mm.
will have to. So you have to grow the tree now, then you will have the shade later on,
Yeah.
right? If I wait until 5, 10 years later and I grow the tree, it is too late because they need the shade already.
I also think so.
Yes.
Because you see at the and even you say back few years ago, I'm sorry, few years ago we don't see this coming, right? But before we start this live stream, I just saw the news. Like,
Oh my god.
actually, now if you have a shelter to stay and food to feed every day,
I'm grateful.
you already above
Average.
90%
Yes.
people on earth.
And we still have aircon in Singapore, you know.
That's
How
right.
lucky is that?
That's right. So I
And a washing machine.
and you still have time to I, trust me, I still think it's so blessed my life right now
Mm.
when compared with the rest of the world right now. That's the important thing that to be grateful for.
Mm.
Right? You don't say it to let people look at you. Oh my God, I want to be like her or something. But I'm just saying that the today result I have is the years of me when I'm working, when people
Nobody
enjoying
see
life.
what? Yeah, correct. When people
Yeah.
party, you working, you thinking about money. When people go out to have enjoy restaurant, you save money. You never enjoy.
Yeah.
You eat white rice with fish sauce, right? It's all this effort that you and you will have to go through that. It's not. It's
Yeah.
There's no fairy tale.
Yeah.
The fairy tale
And it
comes
no shortcut.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fairy tale comes afterwards.
Like if you already at least so when you book that, right, I think that's already your balancing because
Yes,
most
correct.
people don't think like that, you see.
You just like guilt,
And
but
they
you need to do it now.
and
Now
also
is
they
better.
also now something that I have a lot of conversation with people nowadays about why they lost a job or whatsoever. And I don't want to offend them, but the truth is, you always think you will have the same job for the rest of your life. That you will use that income, or the income will just keep increasing so you can feed your family or
You think
the
of it as a
hospital bill.
forever thing, right?
Yeah,
But
so
it's not
it's
true.
and that is so dangerous because right now
With the
from
current
early
world
this year,
situation.
yeah, from early this year to now,
Mm.
I have countless meeting people outside and tell me that or they have to start drive Grab because
Yes.
their company closed down or they get set
So
off
many.
or whatsoever. Like so many, so many. So the stability that even our parent family expectation
It's no more.
is no more, and I don't even know if they even understand that, or they still blame us that we're not good enough, right? So that's something that you guys have to aware. If your family blame you that you're not good enough, you also have to aware that you're born in very different era right now compared with your last generation.
Mm.
You have AI compete with you, you have human compete with you,
Mm.
you have recession compete with you,
Mm.
you have a lot of competition.
Competition. Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Okay, this is something else that I also want to talk about. This is interesting for me also because I went through that. How do I say no to family pressure while still staying emotionally correct? This is for loving families, right? Of course, I want to continue my harmonious
Mm.
relationship with my family. I don't want that arguments and all that. It really depends on what your parents are like. Are they open to the idea or not? I think if most parents, I wouldn't say all, but I would say most parents come from a place of wanting you to be safe,
Mm.
right? Most parents are like that. Like if you don't want your child to do something, you know it's because you want them to be safe. You don't want them to go through too much hardships. So if your parents are coming from that point of view, which is where my parents came from,
Mm.
I understand. But like you said, times have changed.
Mm.
My parents have not changed with the times, but
Yeah.
times have changed because right
Oh
now
my
they are
god, it's so
nearing.
tough.
Yeah, right now they are. My mom is a housewife. She doesn't know about these times, right? The closest she has to AI is like Instagram and Facebook.
Oh
I don't think
my
she even has
god.
Instagram, okay? But my mom is a housewife, so
Maybe
I
it's
don't
time to
blame her
send
for
her
that.
to learn AI. You know, a lot of skill futures she need to use.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but I don't know whether she want to learn or not. It comes from one thing, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So anyway, same. I had that issue. So what I did was I okay, I'm not suggesting that you do the same, but I've always had a pretty harmonious relationship with my parents.
Mm.
And because maybe partly because I'm the eldest, there are a lot of things that I do that I do not consult people. I'm not saying these are all smart decisions. Sometimes there are stupid decisions that you should not follow, like quit my job without finding a new job. But there are many times I did that, by the way, throughout my career. It's not a smart move to do, don't do that. But there are but with my parents, what I did was I just told them that this is what I'm gonna do,
Mm.
and then of course there will be like, "Are you sure you're going to be okay?" Blah 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 blah. At that moment, when your parents raise those objections to you, you must understand that they come from a place of fear. So
Mm.
there's a lot of emotions going on there. The moment at that point when they are in that emotional state, when you tell them reasoning, logic, numbers, it may not make sense to them,
Mm.
especially if it's the mom, because females, right?
Yeah.
You you need to reassure them first.
Mm.
You need to reassure that I know what I'm doing and
Mm.
it's okay. And the questions will keep on coming. And then after that, the only way to shut them up is to show results.
Mm.
For Asian parents, it's very simple. They will they will fight against you. Don't be an artist. Don't be a sports person. Don't be a singer or whatever it is. Right? They want
Mm.
you to be a lawyer, a doctor, uh, work for the government,
Yeah.
maybe, or accountant, teacher, this kind of things.
Even government is not easy to find job anymore.
Yeah, it's not easy, but this is what they want, right? So they
Yeah.
think of this as stable job. So the only way you can show that you know what you're doing is to show results, that you and you will be surprised, maybe after a few months, 6 months or a year, they will slowly stop questioning you,
Mm.
because they know that at the end of the day it's still your own life that you have to lead, and they also know that they cannot sway you from what you want to do.
Yeah.
So this is how I maintain a harmonious relationship. Come on, you think about it. 37 years old, I leave my stable job. I come out to be a whatever influencer thing. You think my parents lie? Of course they don't lie. My mom's a Virgo. What do you
Oh
think
my
about it?
god, lucky.
She almost had a heart attack.
All this moment I feel grateful I don't have parents to deal with.
No, but serious, can you imagine? Can you imagine the disastrousness?
Yeah, I just deal with one, so of course I can
Yeah, the
imagine.
disastrousness.
I already
Okay.
can start deal with that.
And then my husband, he's can you imagine? He come from IT background. Everybody is saying IT is so great. His bro is in the government job, by the
Yeah,
way. IT is so great. It's booming. He decided to come out and quit his job and not be and do his own business. You think the parents lie? Of
yeah.
course they don't lie, and it comes from a place of fear and love. Right? It's so yeah. This is how I continue to stay with harmoniously with my parents. Of course, you must make sure that you have, like I say, give yourself a timeline as a backup plan, and you must have some sort of savings. Okay, it's preferable. Okay, we're talking about the good scenario. I'm not talking say you're abandoned by the street and no money. That one no choice. Okay, but you should have some form of savings. So if you want to have a good life later on, the partying you cut half, the
But
drinking you cut half.
I
Okay.
think that's a real problem,
Yeah,
right? Not
spend money on branded things, cut half. Phone just use until it's spoiled. No need always the latest model. Look at mine. Okay, please. Okay. Clothes. Clothes. You don't need so many. You open your cupboard, you have 50 clothes. How many you actually wear? 10. So no need spend so much. Okay? That's it. That's the trick. That's the trick is you save as much as you can, and all the time you do your day job, and then the night job you do something you like until the night job start making money. I'm sorry, it sounds not sexy, but that is the way it is. You look at, and how many hours you work last time?
you have to ask how many hours I sleep.
Yeah,
Then you
how many
deduct
hours you sleep last time?
5 4 5 hours
4 and 5 on a good day.
on a good day.
Yeah, on a day when her business is in trouble, no need sleep. Maybe nap half an hour.
Yeah.
So you think
Don't,
about
don't,
it.
don't even talk about go out and play.
No need. You have time. Your business is having fire right now. You go and party. I don't think it's advisable. But it's true. You have to hustle, and I know that people are talking about, oh, it's so easy to make money. It can be easy, but first it has to be difficult. I will
Yeah.
say this: it can be easy. It is not difficult to make money, but you have to have a foundation and a system.
Yeah.
And the start, it will be hard.
Yeah.
It will be difficult. So if you're not ready for the difficulty, then you just stick to be an employee, which is fine,
Yeah.
right? Up to you. If you want to come out and do something, I would suggest you come out when you're young. You have no family to feed. Your parents are still
Actually, that's the
healthy.
best. That's the
Really, when your
best.
parents are still healthy, they not depend on you for bills, for whatever. Then that you should start then. When you can lose everything and it's okay because you only feed yourself and your parents can still feed you a bit. That's the best
But
time.
you see, that is what the Asian thing, right? We have kid, and our kid is our like they think the kid
Insurance
is the
plan.
insurance
Yeah,
plan. That's right.
no, it's sad to say. I know this is difficult for our parents to accept, but
Did they realize that yet or no? They still have
no, my
that.
mom I think has given up because my I am.
But
I
your
mean,
mom and your dad had two daughters. If say like that in Asia, right? Have daughter, so it's very hard to for you to.
Chinese we say 嫁女儿像泼出去 means if you
Daughter is
marry
for
a
somebody.
if you marry a daughter, it's like the water you throw outside.
Yeah.
That's a saying in Chinese, direct translation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are two buckets of water waiting to be thrown outside. So, but do you see? Okay, but it's interesting. Okay, let me talk a little bit about my parents' context. So they grew up in the era where they kind of, where the females are almost equal to the males already in terms of working, in terms of education, all that. So they don't really look at us like they are going to throw their daughter away.
Yeah.
My mom actually does see me as an insurance plan.
Mm.
And I didn't know this until maybe actually it came as a shocker for me. I didn't know it until it's about a year or so ago, very recent, that I realized that she saw me as an insurance plan. I was sugar dirt. I was like, but okay, this is I don't blame her because this is her generation thinking,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so it just slipped out of her like, yeah. Otherwise, I feed you so well for a while. Of course, for you to feed me when I'm older, right? It's a very Asian thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when I told myself that if ever have a child, I will never do that to my child.
Oh, I already say that to Eva
Yeah.
every day.
But you see, now we are in the sandwich generation where I have to take care of my parents,
Yeah.
take care of myself, and then if I have a kid, I have to take care of my kid and my retirement.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So
Yeah.
if let's say I have a parents who are, so the only way is for me to have enough to take care of everybody. That's the, yeah, that's basically the conclusion lah. Huh? So my parents are, they don't really have much savings, I think, because of the 58
Mm.
1995, something, that market crash thing, right?
Yeah.
They come, yeah. So my dad lost his business and everything. So that was a good lesson for us. And yeah, like I said, it's a shocker when I realized my mom's insurance plan. She should just bought insurance. I think it's better for her. But yeah, she thought I was her insurance plan. So this is how I maintain a harmonious relationship with my parents while still sticking to
So
what I want.
now I'm curious. So after you figured out that last year, and now you turn 40, how your next 10 years plan look like? Well, you're the
Actually,
person who don't love to don't plan.
yeah, I know, right? It's just a disaster, I tell you. So I this is what Anne says is true. I love to don't plan, but I really, it sounds like a hocus pocus, but because I have had 30 plus years of experience, right? I think you have had this experience of me. I
Yeah.
always listen to my gut.
Okay, I don't know how people around you, but I can tell you guys, mark this video today. I think for the next 10 years, Denise will be fucking damn rich.
I would hope so. And the only
Okay, she say hope, I guarantee. So mark my word, 2025, 20,
August 8th, for August 4th,
yeah. So around in the next 10
at
years,
6:05
she will be
p.m.
damn,
Singapore
she will
time.
be damn next level game.
I
But of course, she have to, like she say, follow her gut and do the thing that. You see, this is something is so hard
I
for
have
me
to
to
do
tell
things that I don't
people.
dare to do.
It's so hard to tell people that I can see people life. If they go this direction, there will be something like that.
Okay, so
Yeah,
anytime I do something that is away from the direction of being rich, can you please
I
slap me?
did. I
Slap
did.
me?
I tell you something funny.
You
From
just
day
tell me straight
one,
away, Denise, you're going to be poor if you do
from
this. I
day
will
one,
stop
I
you.
don't know if my viewer here been with me that long, but from day one, when people ask me about Bitcoin and crypto,
Uh-oh.
right? And I tell you no, do not buy
That's a
anything
cesspool.
that the government did not approve. And for 7 years of do YouTube, I still say the same thing. I still
Even
say
when
the
it went
same
up,
thing.
right?
Yeah, and now it's really crashed. It crashed worse and worse and worse and worse. And yet some idiot outside there will say you was wrong. The money will go up again. I'll tell you
They
something.
have strong belief.
China, it banned Bitcoin. Okay, and China is the next order of the world. And if China ban Bitcoin and
Your business no more already.
China want to get back the gold from the bank, I'm not sure what on earth do you think, like,
They will accept your business with Bitcoin.
correct. Yes, maybe your Bitcoin will went up, but maybe in 50 or 50 more years, if China economy go down or whatsoever, right? Then maybe yeah. But I still don't see in my generation right now, if I'm still alive
Before
on Earth,
retirement.
yeah. No, even I pass away,
Uh,
I don't think that will be approved. And even people coming and tell me an idiot, I'm like fine, but at least I don't burn myself upside down and
it's true.
yeah. So
Crypto is
so
very
so
volatile.
I just gave out one of example that I can see thing, but I don't know how to explain to people.
Okay,
that,
so at please, anytime you see me going the path of no money, can you please, Denise, that will make you poor. I will immediately wake my idea and do something else.
yeah.
You will tell me, Denise, this is going to make you poor. You should not do that.
No, for the next few months, you already can get back up something. I have something for you, but I cannot share with you.
No,
now
it's
yet.
I cannot also depend on your must depend on myself.
No, you depend on yourself, of course. But
That's
I'm
true,
just saying opportunity. When every time I
Opportunity.
have opportunity, I always tell people to do something because I know it will be good for them. Right? You know me. If I see something that is match you, I will tell you, okay, this is the chance. Yeah. And it sounds like again early on of this podcast, we're talking about if right now you have food on the table and you have a roof on your head, you already consider privilege.
Yeah, we can still buy outside food and eat,
Yeah, we don't have to suffer ache in like somewhere right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm horrible.
Horrible! Stop it. Take good. Pretend you didn't hear that. Okay, so your life, babe.
I'm so bad.
Yeah, you're so bad. Okay, so anyway, I'm very every time I worry about or rather every time my husband worries about money, I remind myself that I'm grateful that we have food. We can still afford to go and buy food and eat.
Yeah.
That is already, I think, a great. Some people they only have money for rice, don't even have money for rice even.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful. I'm grateful, and yeah, I the only reason I can see that the universe will make me rich, or help me, or give me opportunity.
I think not rich lah. To be correct is for her to can be insurance for her mom.
Okay,
I think
yeah,
without I
okay.
think okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Without your family, you can just don't care. You eat
Really?
here, uncle care. You can
Really?
stay there. You
I
sleep
am
here.
very
You eat it.
carefree one.
Yeah,
I really don't
I can
care.
tell.
My husband have a hard time because you see you have a family member that is also carefree, right?
Yeah,
That's why the worry all go to somebody. Somebody has to worry
correct.
about it.
Yeah,
So my husband is the one that worry. That's the reason why I can be carefree. Okay, thanks to my husband. He worries, so I carefree. Correct, you need to both, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
have
I
one in the
can.
house that care nothing.
Okay.
By now, even I just destroy something.
She can. She no.
Her,
She.
I think she done already. Now she back to normal already.
I don't know. She just like inside angry and sad and whatever lah. The emotions
Angry?
lah.
Oh my god, I'm not angry
Emotions
yet.
lah. Emotions.
After this, I
lah.
need to deal with somebody. Okay, guys. So I just let you know. You know,
She needs some she needs some meditation.
you know when you tell God that teach me more patience,
They will give you the biggest test.
they will give you a big human in the house to test you.
Small human.
Yeah. To teach you how to be humble, how to be
Patient.
patient, how to be boiling but control the
And not
boiling
kill
and not
kill
kill
somebody.
somebody.
Yeah, so we came
It-
from that situation just now. It was a woo.
Are you shocked as well?
No, I wasn't shocked. I was just
Yeah,
like
I think you know me by now.
I was like, oh my god, she said that. Oh my god, she's gonna do it. And then I was like, how are you gonna do it? I thought you were just gonna smash it. I didn't know that you would take some kind of tool. Okay, so anyway, yeah.
No, if just smash it, it won't be broken.
yeah, I know. I was thinking, how are you gonna smash your break? Then I saw you walking towards the kitchen. I thought you were gonna throw it out the window. I was like, no, that's illegal. I have to stop her if she does that. But later she throw me out, I die. Okay, never mind. She not do that. Okay, that's great. That's great. Yeah, because I know her quite well. I know if she says something, she will do it. So when she said what she was going to do, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, I will be witness to this legendary moment. And then I will go home and tell one guy, which he will be a huge shock. You will see his eyes. His eyes quite big already, right? You will see them so big. I will take a photo of his big eyes. And I will, and you know when I tell stories, I tell you entertaining. I will reenact
Yeah.
what you did.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just an all around disaster. She had to have many meditation sessions
I
and
mean,
a
after this,
tarot card reading session and some tea
yeah,
before she was ready for live stream. That's why I was a little bit later than our scheduled time.
yeah,
Yeah. So I hope we have answered your questions without with the yeah. How
Yep.
can we say no to our families? We cannot change how people look at us when we say no. The only thing you can do is to say no as kindly as you can. And as kindly as you can, and the emotions will come out when your parents question you. You'll be prepared for that. You say no, I'll become no shit, you will not become. So you need to be prepared to swallow back down again and remain kind. So you have to say no as kindly as you can. And then what they view of you will be up to them. You cannot change that,
yeah.
right? So
The
yeah,
closer person in the house is the one who will give you hard time.
that's true. I'm glad I married somebody that he's giving me a hard time, I also give me a hard time. But when it comes to chasing our own dreams, we not give each other a hard time.
Mm.
None of us tell each other to give up. It's very weird. Seriously. I never tell him to, hey, you should just go and find a job and give up and all that. No. He also never tell me, hey, you should go and find a job.
Yeah.
It's very weird. We are a weird couple. But yeah. Well, that's it for me. You have anything else to add?
No, I'm
She's
good. I'm
thinking
good.
about how to deal with the human. I can see in her
Yeah.
eyes. She's like, what do I have to say? I need some I have to prepare the meditation session for her. Okay, I think thank you for Thank you for joining us today. I hope we have given you some insights, especially when it comes from me who loves my family but
Oh
also
my
love
God,
myself.
we've been do 172 live stream,
Oh,
almost
172.
200 live stream.
Yeah.
Wow,
Wow.
wow,
Amazing.
amazing.
We're amazing. Oh my God, babe. We haven't died yet. Oh my God.
How can we have so many topics to share with you guys?
Because the world is ever changing, and if I have no topics, this is what I learned from another influencer. A small tip for you, extra tip for you. If I have no topics, that means I am not ingesting enough information.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you have no topics to think about what to say, then you need to go and ingest more information.
Yeah.
But if it's fear, then too bad. I cannot help you. All right, I think this is it. We will see you guys at the next episode.
I am Amanda Spice.
And I'm Denise the Nice. We will see you guys at the next one. Okay, we have to end our stream now by ourselves. Bye.
That's the conclusion of today.
How
Don't
to
forget to
start
like, share, and subscribe.
You are?
I am Amanda Spice.
And the stubborn one. And I'm Denise the Nice. We will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.